intro. How about
you do it. We have it. No, I have it. So.
Well, there you have it, folks.
We kind of riff it.
Yeah.
Are you going?
I'm going, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. Intro.
I'm throwing us in. Welcome, everyone, to How You Holdin' Up. I'm Jane.
And I'm Dagny.
And welcome to our podcast where we explore the wonderful media.
We've wonderful world of...
Listen, it's been a rough week. Where Dagny and I explore the wonderful world of media and how it has held up. I'm going to tell you right now, Dagny.
Remember before you were like, let me do the intro because you don't know what you're doing. You're keep going. You're doing great.
And I was right.
I would have done worse. I'm telling you now, I would have.
Dagny, it's been a week. Dare I ask, how are you holding up?
Now here's the thing, Jane. This is a comedy podcast, so
we've only got 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we don't have time to really get into how we're holding up.
We're also holding up by a thread, if that's helpful.
We're recording this on November 10th, so if you know, something happened a few days ago. It's been a real downer, a real bummer.
Sad.
So we don't have to, this is a lighthearted, good, tee-hee-hee fun time.
We will not acknowledge the fire in the room.
Yeah, so that's that thing. So that's not been great, but I have told you my love of I'm on my period, so that's also not a great.
Hey, hold on.
Guilty.
Wait a second. Pause. She is on her period.
No, it was important for me to explain this to anyone listening that also has a period. I have recently started using a flex disc, and Jane, and then shout out to our friend Franny Williams. She'll be on the podcast sometime. She's listening. They've listened to me talk about this flex disc so much, and
It's a disc.
It's a disc,
Oh shit!
And it pops right in there, and let me just tell you, Flex, if you're listening,
thank you.
Thank you for all that you've done, and you've made my life so much better. And if you want to sponsor us,
please.
I won't say no. I will keep talking about how great this is. I'll talk about my period blood on this podcast every week if I have to.
Because that's just how dedicated we are.
It is one of the things I'm most passionate about right now.
Do you like listening to records? Do you like driving in a car with wheels? Well, you'll love Flex Disc. A slightly porous disc to keep all your blood inside.
It's so crazy.
Your cooch.
Anybody listening that,
boys, this one's for you.
This is for you. Buy your ladies in your lives a flex disc. They'll thank you.
They'll thank you, and they'll also want to talk to you about it, and you're gonna want to listen.
You're gonna want to listen. My poor boyfriend, John. I'm sure we'll talk about our boyfriends at some point.
I won't.
He's in the other room. He doesn't, for some reason, seem very interested when I tell him about my flex disc. Actually kind of gets grossed out, which is very fair because it's a little graphic.
I think men are jealous that they don't have inside pockets. Well, they do, but theirs are dirty.
Yeah.
We have cool pockets that we could put stuff in.
Put things in it.
Sometimes they bleed, but for the most part.
Oh my God.
That's why women like.
I brought this
pants
up.
With pockets.
I don't know why I'm like, we shouldn't be talking. I completely brought it up.
That we have little pouches inside.
That we have little.
Have you ever thought about that? Like
there.
I've always thought about the fact that like, if you're going to an event like I don't know, you can't bring, a little ketamine with you.
What?
You could put in a little baggie in your inside pocket.
Are you taking ketamine
I'm not.
places often?
No, I've never tried it.
Don't do drugs, kids.
There's no kids listening to this. This is an explicit podcast.
But as far as I'm holding up, I feel a little delusional. Not delusional. A little.
That's okay.
Delirious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delirious. The lovely.
The lovely.
Yeah. So it's been a tough one, but we're going strong and flex discing it up. So Jane, how are you holding up?
I'm, Dagny, I'm really glad you asked me that because I've been feeling lately kind of like a flex disc. I can hold so much, but if you if you wear me out
For
for longer
over
than
12
hours, I'll leak.
I'll burst. I'll
start to squirt, and not in the good way. No, listen. I'm kind of at the point in my life where it's just funny at this point, and I take comfort. I take comfort. I take comfort in knowing that my really personal connections are doing well.
Yeah.
I take comfort in this podcast that we do. I take comfort in my partner. I take comfort in having a family that loves me. I take comfort in friendship and vice versa, and anything else that I can grab onto, because there's a lot of things changing really quickly for many people. And we're not talking just about the election, like I have a friend who I've been friends with for 20 years who's leaving and moving back to her hometown, and she's not going to be in LA with me anymore. I have, your relatives are getting older and sicker, and you're thinking about like how much time you have and all that stuff. Real Bonnie Raitt vibes, And
what?
Bonnie Raitt, Nick of Time.
Sorry, the reference is going over my head. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll fucking kill myself. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. But I do take comfort in those things, and it's kind of what has been getting me through this week, and it's what will get me through the next couple of weeks thing with you. So
yay!
I know, and today's episode is going to be, I think, really a fun, spooky time. Yeah. I know we're past Halloween, but for those of you who don't want to let go, this is a really fun little teenage.
Honestly, bringing up my period feels kind of like a.
Yeah, there's so many.
It's a movie about sisterhood and women.
Movie about sisterhood, but also a movie about like
sisterhood.
In my idea, a movie about drugs and belonging.
Oh yeah, you definitely took a deeper meaning than I did, which is good. I took this movie very surface level. But
there's a lot of things, and we'll get into this. Today we're discussing The Craft. If you've never seen this movie, the movie was made in the 90s. It's a fantastic film. And I will say it's a fantastic film because it's just a cult classic in a lot of ways. It came out in 1996, and there are some things about it that we'll talk about that did not age well. And I think for me in this episode, I'm probably going to come to a percentage on how much it's held up for me. Yeah. In our past 2 episodes, we did a yes or no kind of thing. Did it hold up? Did it not hold up? This kind of falls into the category of like how much of this movie has held up and how much of it has not.
Yeah. Mine, generally when I was watching it, I was like, this makes sense for when it came out. The movie slaps. I had a great time. I honestly didn't watch it until whenever you and I watched it together, like a month ago.
That's great to watch it because you got to literally watch it as not a rewatch, but as if this came out right now, how does it hold up?
A lot of the lines wouldn't, not a lot, but I would say a handful of lines wouldn't have made it in if it was made in 2024. But yeah, I had a great time. Oh, I didn't watch it for the longest time because I thought it was a horror movie. And it's not.
I mean, it's
spooky.
There's a lot of spooky things. If you don't like snakes and roaches and
that was the
whatever,
worst part, was at the end.
There's a lot of live animals, which I think is really cool in the movie, but like it could be disturbing. Just so you guys know, so we can give you guys a little kind of intro to this if you've never seen it.
Go for it.
The Craft is about 4 young women, 3 of which are practicing Wiccan, and 1 of which is a natural witch, meaning she has power imbued in her. Imbued, is that a correct word? Mm. Inside of her, okay? And she's an outcast. She's like that depressed, like misfit kid, and these 3 girls kind of take her in and introduce her into using her power more. And these girls kind of take over the school. It's a darker Mean Girls, It's a darker Clueless. It's
Heathers-ish.
It's Heathers-ish, yeah. It's how much of our power can we use to make high school go well for us, make our lives go well for us.
Yeah.
And it takes a dark turn. There's a power struggle. There's so many good actresses in it. We've got Rachel True, who plays Rochelle, one of the witches. Neve Campbell, who's Bonnie. Neve Campbell, by the way, so great in this. And also, you know, at the time she was doing Scream. So she was like the spooky queen, you know?
It girl.
Mm-hmm. Robin Tooney's in it. She plays Sarah Bailey. She's also a firecracker. But by far, I think my favorite in this movie is, I hope I don't mispronounce her name. I probably will. I feel bad. But Fairuza Balk. Fairuza. She plays Nancy Downs. And God, she is fantastic. And I
so
found
good.
out, by the way, that she was a practicing Wiccan when the movie started.
Ooh,
So she was really into it. She was really I'll talk more about some fun facts about the movie, but you can definitely tell she had like this extra divine quality about her. She did a fantastic. She really like.
she commits.
Oh yeah, and it's great. And I would say that the movie does well with the performances. Like the movie moves because the girls fucking rock and they give us good performances. But there's a couple themes that I want to talk about in the movie, but I wanted to kind of hand it over to you, see if there's anything you want to talk about, anything that kind of stood out to you, anything that, you know.
Yeah, mine is generally just like little things in the movie that, you know, not necessarily don't hold up, but are just like, what? One, in your notes, my favorite thing is the occult store that this witchy girl or witchy like woman runs, and the three girls who were like practicing bring the the new girl in with them, and the woman who owns the store is like, you're not gonna steal like your friends, you're gonna actually pay. And then they go back to the store like 4 or 5 times in the movie, and this woman just, maybe they're her only customers, I don't know,
They don't buy anything.
they don't buy anything
steal.
and they steal, and she knows that they steal, and she just lets them keep coming back.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come off as like this, like she's this all-knowing witch, but it comes off as like, you're a fucking dweeb.
Yeah,
Catch them.
Just like they're snatching it right in front of her. It's crazy.
Yeah, very weird.
Not great business. So that one was very silly. Another moment to like prove, I'm blanking on what is the main girl.
I love what you wrote,
name?
by the way, for, if we could just go back for a second, I love what you wrote for the shopkeeper. She adds nothing to the story except a foreboding energy. Mm-hmm. That doesn't come off as foreboding in the slightest.
No.
It's so accurate.
And also, she goes, what is the main girl's name? The character?
Sarah, yeah.
Sarah. She like goes to her for help when all the girls turn on her, and does she do anything? She's like, here's this room that you couldn't go in before.
Yeah.
But then nothing comes of it.
You weren't allowed to go in this room, but basically what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use your divine energy and call the spirit. And she's like, you could have told me this in the main area of the shop. I don't.
Yeah.
It felt like it had to be there for a plot continuation. At some point, maybe there was more to that shop or more to that story, but maybe it got cut and it just felt like it felt useless, very useless.
Yeah. Some of the other funny moments. So Sarah's trying to like show her powers, and she changes the color of her hair, and it does look very fake, but it's still a really fun moment.
It's a very fun moment. There's a lot of like, I get what you're talking about. There's a lot of CG in the movie that is a good time.
I think that's why the end is so startling with all the real reptiles and insects and.
Well, when she makes her hands snakes, that's CGI, and that looks so
stupid. It does look dumb. But that's everything up to it. Maybe it hasn't aged perfectly, but it's fun to watch regardless. But when they use all the real animals, I was like, oh God. And then they're like great. Crawling out of the toilet saying, oh, I don't like it.
It's practical lasts. No matter what, practical is real and it'll last longer. Like, there are reasons why when we watch the original The Thing, it still fucking hits. Because it's practical effects, and even if the practical effects don't feel as real anymore, you can still respect the like time and energy and makeup and styling and creativity that went into it.
plot-wise, this movie, up until the end, it's a sweet sisterhood movie of these girls that create a coven, and then 3 of them turn on Sarah, and they try to get her to kill herself, and it's crazy. It's so fucked up that they like manipulate the TV or the news. They do something, so it looks like there was a plane crash on the news. They go to her house, whatever. I'm not telling this in a linear way, but
No, but it
it's
really
like
does ramp up.
Yeah, it feels sudden too, and it's just like, oh yeah, your dad left to go to San Francisco, and the plane crashed, and it's on the news. Just conveniently, his exact flight is on the news right now, and we all bombarded you at your house. And then they try to get her to kill herself, and that's not friendship. That's bad. That's not being a girl's girl.
It definitely skyrockets pretty quick.
Yeah. I skipped over some other stuff kind of in the middle.
Oh.
One, how did Nancy survive being struck by lightning? That was great. I guess that's how she got her powers, but and then she walks on water.
Well, so the interesting part about that, all of that, like the chanting and stuff. I'll give you guys some interesting facts about the movie. So a real witch was hired to help make the film. And the name that, if you want to look her up, her name's Pat Devon. And she's known as the High Priestess of the Covenant of the Goddess, which is pretty fucking insane. And she was literally hired to ensure that spells and incantations were like up to the mark, were realistic, were...
They were, when they were like saying the spells and stuff, it was pretty powerful. I was like, oh, this is like...
Manon, though, was fake because...
they're like God, not God, whatever they're like...
They didn't want to. They didn't want to invoke anything. Actually, there was like a lot of fear with that.
Yeah.
But also, because the chanting was so real, a lot of weird shit happened on set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the Wiccan and like a lot of the elements they talk about and read about. I also really like that each woman stands for an energy.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, our main character, is Earth. She's like grounded. She's stable. Then we've got Rochelle, who I believe is air. I don't remember specifically. Oh, sorry. Sarah is Earth. Bonnie is wind. And she's got that power of foresight. Rochelle is water. And in the movie, Rochelle dives a lot and is around water.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is kind of nice. And then Nancy, our powerhouse, our crazy girl.
Of course, she's fire.
She's fire. I really love that. I love that it's locked into very, like, simple elements. Like, at the end of the day, the girls are this, this, and this. Which I think is always a good base for a plot. The simpler it is, the more it's like, there are the 4 elements or whatever. We can follow that. We can see what happens. And Andrew Fleming said this himself. Andrew Fleming's the director. He talked about that being the distinguishing kind of factor. Mm-hmm. The movie was marketed as a girl power movie. That's why it got funded. Oh. They love the idea of like these 4 girls. The issue with it was that as you watch the movie, there's a lot of things that aren't very girl power. And I think that stems from having a male director. No offense. There's a lot of things that are very, of course, of the time, but also just, you know, me and you talked about this. Sarah's weird need to be accepted by
the boy.
That weird basketball or football, whatever the fuck.
Football.
Skeet Ulrich plays him, by the way. So Skeet Ulrich plays
Scream.
Again, Scream.
Yeah.
He plays Chris Hooker, who is Sarah's like love interest, but a crush. But he's awful, and like right at the beginning of the movie, they go out on a date. She doesn't want to have sex with him, so he tells the whole school that they fucked. And immediately after that, you barely know this person. She is like infatuated with him, and she's like, "I know it's wrong, but I still love him." Like, no, you don't. And she casts like a love spell, which obviously backfires, and he loses his mind and tries to like rape her and get her.
Yep.
And it's all
That was not a fun part of the film.
Yeah, and I didn't like that our main character, who's supposed to be so grounded, supposed to be so level-headed, is...
Her, like, main drive as a boy.
Yeah. That, to me, is not really girl power. To me, that incites toxicity, and I think that's why this kind of falls on the 100% scale for me of how it's held up. Like, I don't know if I would show this as a girl power movie to a teenage girl.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Now, I don't think this kind of movie would be marketed as that.
Right.
I get, like, maybe that's how they kind of had to pitch it to get funding, because, I don't know, a witch movie might not be as easy to make as Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
But they're also...
But they cast spells.
Right. But they also cast spells.
And they do blood oaths.
They're crazy. They're kooky girls.
Cuckoo crazy girls.
What I do like is there are some great lessons in the movie. I know this sounds pretty, like, you know, surface level, but don't fuck with a black woman's hair. Don't ever fuck with her hair.
That certainly hasn't aged well.
The speech hasn't aged well at all. We've got Laura, who's actually played by Christine Taylor, and if you know who Christine Taylor is, she's a great actress. She's been in, like, Dodgeball. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I gotta look her up. But she's also Ben Stiller's wife. She's phenomenal. She's funny. She's pretty. In this movie, she plays the most racist bitch you'll ever meet.
Yeah, she's bad.
I mean,
we can't, like, even really repeat.
Well, she calls Rochelle's hair pubes, you know?
Yeah.
She goes, oh, these pubes are stuck in my brush. And then, you know, she uses the word nappy to describe a black woman's hair, which is insane. And just wouldn't... I mean, she would be kicked out of school nowadays if she didn't. But I do, you know, I like that Rochelle comes back with a spell that causes this bitch to lose all her hair. She goes bald.
Yeah, which I guess that actually, not that it makes it okay, but at least the movie,
I thought it was great.
She gets punished for in the witch's way, not by the school.
She gets
for
punished.
What she says.
There's some weird things that I don't agree with, which is like there's this weird lesson that we're supposed to learn at the end of this movie, which is like, don't go too far and don't be too mean. But like a lot of these people fucking suck. Like the guy. There's a part in the movie that is it's my favorite part in the movie. Before all the witches turn on Sarah, Nancy, our fiery lady, she finds out that through the love spell, Sarah's love interest, Chris or whatever his name is, tries to take advantage of her, and she goes to a house party and
basically cloaks herself as Sarah.
Yeah. Pretends to almost have sex with him, fucks with his mind, and then throws him out of a window. And Sarah's like, you took it too far. And in my head, I'm like, nah.
No.
She did that shit. Like, fuck him. You know, like, he's innately bad. He has been bad since the beginning.
Yeah. And
I don't like that the film is like, oh no, like, that's too much. I think it confuses things that are fine to do with things that are not okay to do.
Yeah.
Like, I think all of it would have worked if they didn't break the sisterhood. Because at the end, the sisterhood gets broken, and then it's like, well, has none of this meant anything to Nancy? Has she just been looking for power this whole time? And that doesn't feel right either, because in the beginning of the movie, Nancy's kind of crazy, but she has a really hard life, and she wants to protect her girls. So that's also why that flip at the end that you're talking about, where they all convince her to kill herself and try to get her, feels so unnatural.
Yeah, like honestly, I don't remember why that happened exactly. Mm-hmm. Why they all turned on her so quickly. What was it?
It was
after the Chris thing.
After Chris falls out of the window, Sarah goes, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, right. She doesn't want to be part of it.
I don't like how bad this is. And the girls kind of corner her in the bathroom, and they go, you know, in the olden times, when a witch left her coven, she was killed by the other witches.
Yeah.
For like betraying them.
That's right.
And then they come to her house later and basically torture her mentally, and then
it's crazy. I did want to, because you were talking about Nancy a little bit, just she like is living in that RV, and then when she gets like almighty powerful, makes like a microwave explode or something, and her stepfather has a heart attack, and then her and her mom get a life insurance policy because of his death. And they're able to get this like penthouse apartment, but it's furnished with like only a couch, and then the jukebox that her mom has, like it's just a weird looking couch, and then this jukebox that only plays Connie Francis records. That's all.
Vibes.
Yeah, and I'm like, good on this woman. She cashed out on this shitty husband that she had, and she got what she apparently in the movie always wanted, which was a jukebox that only played Connie Francis records.
But it also sheds light on, I think what they did a really good job with Nancy's story is, it's alluded to that she's sexually abused by her stepfather, and that her mom's a drunk and doesn't do anything about it. And they live in a trailer house. And then when she does get the powers of Mammon in her, she gets struck by fucking lightning. She gets so powerful that she shoots the electricity out in the, like you said, the camper, and then probably stops his heart. But it's interesting that you talk about that apartment and how weird it's set up, because it's meant to allude to us that her situation didn't really get better.
No, that's true.
That money didn't fix it. Her mom is still a drunk who just bought a jukebox instead of, I don't know, doing anything else. She hasn't taken care of her daughter.
Yeah.
And her daughter is still struggling. And I think that's why she goes off on this power spiral, because nothing...
She doesn't have control
it's
on
not
her life.
enough. Yeah. There's also such a weird comment. This is also another thing where I'm like, oh, that's a male director. When Nancy, just so you know, all these girls are like a size 00, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Nancy's wearing probably the smallest jeans or pants I've ever seen in my life in that apartment. And she goes, if I could wish for one thing, I'd wish for my ass to be smaller.
Oh, and...
I'm like, girl, what ass? What are you talking about? What?
Yeah. That's also just the body images of the 90s are crazy to look back on.
Crazy.
Speaking of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, because I brought it up, the fact that we were all brainwashed into thinking America Ferrera was plus sized in that movie when she just had hips.
It's psycho.
It's crazy.
It's
I was
crazy.
like, oh yeah, she wasn't fat.
She doesn't get the love interest because she's got
a
wide
size
hips.
6?
Yeah. She gets the girl with cancer. They're like, she's the fat girl. She doesn't get to have...
That's a different one. I don't know what America Ferrera's
right.
thing is. What is it? They really did not make her a priority.
She has like momish. I don't know. But you're right. You're 100% right. And they were like, can you imagine those pants fitting
her?
Blake Lively and her fucking hip? So shitty.
It's crazy. Something that
Maybe
movie,
we'll
I still love that movie, but that
we can talk about it.
Part certainly hasn't aged great.
There's a lot of shit like that where you're like,
yeah, but just in the same sense of like the body standards in the 90s in movies and in life, but like especially in movies when there's lines thrown out about anyone's body, I'm like, they are so tiny. What in the world? Did anyone eat?
Did anyone have some oatmeal this morning?
They certainly didn't.
No, they had a half a grapefruit.
I do want to also mention the most like famous quotable line from the movie when they get off the bus before they go do their like ritual.
It's so good.
And what the bus driver, he says like, oh, be careful of weirdos out there. And then Nancy turns around and she goes, we are the weirdos, mister.
It's such a good fucking line. And that shot of them, they've all got their sunglasses on and they're ready to go to the beach.
They're
and
so cool.
The bus just closes. That to me is I love that you brought that up, because that to me is like, yes, these girls are together. Mm-hmm. They are embracing who they are. And they're going to do some weird shit. And we're going to like it.
Yeah.
And they do. They go along and they fucking chant to Maman. And
they cast their spells of what they want most. Yeah, that line is iconic. I went to... there's a witch market in And at this witch market that I highly encourage going to, it's very fun and sisterly and great. But there was a pin there that had "We Are the Weirdos, Mister," and I was like, I get that reference now because I've seen The Craft. So yeah, it's iconic and
there's so many
classic.
iconic quotes in this. There's a really great quote about Nancy just basically corners Chris, who's the abuser in the movie. And the way she just fucking brings him to his knees is fucking amazing. She just goes, "You don't even exist to me. Jealous? You don't exist. You are nothing. You think all women are whores, but you're the whore." And then she he's like, "I'm sorry," because he starts to get scared of her because she's like floating in the air. And then she goes, "Oh, you're sorry. And she kicks him out of the window. One of the best scenes.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, and her whole head is like spinning, like she's losing her mind. It's phenomenal.
It's so good. She's amazing.
Yeah, she really makes the movie. But yeah, I'll read a couple cool things that happened during filming. Something that was kind of insane is they used 10,000 snakes on set.
Gross.
For that ending scene. Gross.
Sick.
And alligators. No, I'm just kidding. Because I know how much you love.
No, I hate them.
Thankfully, Robin Tooney, who's the main character, she was not afraid of them at all. So that was really helpful. You can't have a main character who's afraid of snakes. That'll just fucking not be helpful at all.
I get it, though.
The other thing is because they used a real Wiccan, all their chants were real and all their chants were accurate. And because of that, something really weird happened where a park ranger, when they were doing the beach scene and doing the incantations, the park ranger was like, "Oh, the tide's not going to come in." And then as they started doing the incantations, the tide would come in. And at one point it wiped the whole set out. So that's pretty creepy.
Spooky.
Very spooky. And then the really cool thing is Fairuza Balk, the one who plays Nancy, she was a practicing Wiccan, still is. And during the filming of this, she bought the oldest Wiccan store in the USA, and it's called Panpipes Magical Marketplace. It's in LA, which is really cool.
We're gonna go.
Lastly, the film was given an R rating because they practice witchcraft, which me and Dagny agreed is dumb because
it is dumb because it is just a religion at the end of the day.
Yep.
And we see religion in so many movies, and they don't get R ratings. So why is it because of witches? Witches have been so demonized, and it's so sad because it's really just women coming together.
Agreed.
Yeah.
In terms of held up, do you agree with me kind of on the percentage of how it's held up? I would say 75%. This movie's, you said 80, I guess, right?
75, 80%-ish.
Yeah. It's got its bones. There are some lines that are like, don't say this, but definitely a movie to watch with the girls. Maybe not as a teenager.
Yeah, I would say 16 and above.
Yeah. There's still a lot of really good lessons in it, and it's just something that I was telling Dagny about this movie is that it's just a vibe movie. It like maybe the plot's not as strong, maybe it's not this like huge serious movie, but goddamn, like the characters and the vibe, it's so fun. It makes you want to dress up. It makes you want to listen to the music after. Yeah. I think that's really special.
Me too. I'm sad I waited so long to watch it, but
happy that you finally saw it.
Happy that I finally saw it. And with a lovely group of ladies that we all watched together and did crafts in the craft.
And then we all had a power struggle and tried to kill one of us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Of course.
By convincing that your parents were in a plane crash. Jesus Christ.
Manipulated the television to make it look like your parents were in a plane crash. It's so fucked. It's so fucked up. My God.
They wrote her a suicide note too.
In her handwriting.
Yeah, they were like, you don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything. And they also slit her wrist. Nancy does.
Yeah, Nancy's...
It's fucked up.
Nancy...
Again, it's an abrupt turn, I feel like, to Sarah's just like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, great, we're going to kill you.
Well, you've seen too much.
Yeah.
You just made a girl go bald.
Yeah.
You just made a guy jump out of the window. It's not that big of a deal. She won't talk. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
Watch it.
Yeah, check it out.
The Craft.
Now we got to figure out what we're going to do for our next episode.
Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out real good.
Yeah.
We've got.
But if you want to know what it's going to be about, you better tune back in next week, whenever we release it next time.
We release 2 episodes a month, so
yeah,
we'll definitely be this in November.
Yes, it'll be again later in November.
Wrap us out, baby girl.
Oh, I will.
Oh, I will.
Oh, I will. I'm going to do just as good as you on the outro that you did on the intro.
You bitch.
All right. Well, yes, that is all. If you have any, we need to make, we need to make an email address. I'll do that. I'll have it for next time.
Okay.
But if you have any like kooky and nostalgic films, books, shows,
email it to
anything,
us.
Email it to us, but not yet because we don't have an email set up.
We're going to make one.
We're going to make one. Yes. I'll have that for you next episode. But yeah, start thinking on it and tell us some stuff you want us to watch.
It's going to be called, did you really want to share that? At gmail.com.
Are you sure about that? At gmail.com. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you next week or next time. Wow. This is arguably worse than your intro by far.
Let me know if you want me to tag in.
No. I think
you got this.
I think I said it all. Jane, hold up. No, I'm kidding.
Bye,
Just
Jane.
say bye.
Bye.
Bye.